Hey guys, it's Paul from Online Sax Academy, and today's lesson we're going to be doing a workout based on full range blues scales. A full range scale is basically where we extend a scale up to the highest note on the sax as possible and down to the lowest note on the sax as possible, and this is within the standard range. Now these are great to do for lots of reasons. First of all, it means you know that scale really well, not just in one section of the saxophone, but across the whole instrument. Another reason is it acts as a great warm-up and gets you up into the higher end of the sax, as well as getting you down right to the bottom notes of the sax. Now we're doing this workout with what's commonly called the blues scale. You may also see it referred to as the minor blues scale. And that's because this blues scale is built from what's called a minor pentatonic scale plus a flattened fifth. Now we're going to be going through all 12 different blues scales, and I've put them in order of least amount of sharps and flats in the key signature right the way down to the most amount of sharps and flats. We're going to be kicking things off with the A minor blues scale. Now if we were to just play this scale as a one octave scale, you would see we finish on the high A. But when we extend this scale up through to the highest note, you can see we get all the way up to high E. And then we head back down the scale until we arrive where we started on an A. But we don't stop there. Now we're going to extend down to the lowest possible note on the sax before we bounce back up and finish on our home note A. Now, as I'm playing through the scales, you'll be able to see my fingers playing them, and there'll also be the finger charts at the side. Now what we're going to do is play up and down the scale with quarter notes first of all at 100 BPM, and then we'll do eighth notes. When you're practicing the scales, I would encourage you not to always just go from the beginning. You'll probably find most of the time you're getting tripped up in the very high notes or the very low notes because we tend to play those less. And so for example, you could just focus on the top four notes of this scale until that feels really comfortable under your fingers before you run through it from the beginning. Now go as slow as you need to, especially when you're learning new sets of muscle memory with fingerings. One technique you can do is imagine that these aren't quarter notes, but imagine they're half notes or even whole notes when you're practicing by yourself. And that can really help you to slow down and go through these notes carefully. Once you've built in that muscle memory really securely and slowly, you'll find it's much easier to then speed up. Think about your fingers when you're doing this as well. Try to keep them as close to the keys as possible, especially when you're going to the palm key notes. Try not to have your fingers flying away like this. Try to keep them near to the keys even as you're pressing these palm keys. As far as articulation goes, you can try doing them all tongued, you can try doing them all slurred. All slurred is particularly good for checking a smooth movement of your fingers. Now in the description below and also pinned in the comments is a link for the free PDF of this full workout. Now in this video I'm going to be demonstrating this on alto sax, but premium members at Online Sax Academy can also download the backing track version of this without me on alto, and there's also a transposed backing track, so if you play tenor sax or soprano sax, you can play along with that one. Okay, so here's the full range blues scale workout. All right, remember you can get yourself the free PDF of this full workout, so you'll have all 12 full range blues scales, and the link to that is in the description and pinned in the comments. And whilst you're over at Online Sax Academy, have a look at everything else that's on offer. Let me know in the comments how you got on with this one. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.